Welcome me back, okay? Because consistency is still key. The only reason why episodes weren't coming out on Sundays because I was overseas and I had absolutely no service, okay? That is the only reason why episodes weren't coming out. But today I want to talk about raising you within your relationship, right? I know people out there are probably like, if you still gotta raise yourself to get you to a point for a relationship, why even be in one? Listen up. You could really sit here and mentally be ready for a relationship, but say something goes south, right? And you just like, wow. Like just in that moment, the way life works, you could be living life, growing and all that, and then something go wrong. It's like your whole childhood comes to life. And it's like you're back at being your inner child. You know what I'm saying? And you're just like, wow, we should have knew better. You knew this was going to be like this because this is how we grew up, you know? And it's okay. Don't think, wow, maybe I'm not ready. I can't really say it like that. If you feel like, if your inner child pops up and it makes you feel like maybe I'm not ready, that could mean maybe you need to take a little bit more time getting yourself together to understand how to control that inner child and come to the realization like, look, I'm an adult now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. At one point in life, things were like this, but I am entitled to be happy. I think a lot of us feel like the way we grew up or certain decisions that we made in life, it makes us feel like we're not entitled to happiness. And that's when the whole self sabotage comes into place. You know what I'm saying? You look for any little thing. Like when things are going so good, you're like, nope, something going on because uh, I've never seen a happy relationship like this. He or she out here doing something because I don't do everything right. Hey y'all, that is self sabotage. Stop. Okay? Maybe you have grown past all of your fears, past all of that nonsense you've been through in life, and you're just like, look, I'm good. I deserve this now. So I'm moving accordingly. I'm actually making positive choices opposed to all the years ago when I would sit here and do the tit for tat and this and that. No, it's okay. Understand, happiness is ultimately the goal for all of us. I don't care what nobody's saying. I get it. There's certain people out there that I don't know if I agree with. People just don't want to be a relationship or just have a partner. You know what I'm saying? Because I've realized a lot of people do not want to get married. And I get it. Like, it's scary. But that's what I be talking about. Don't be sitting here turning them red flags into green. You know what I'm saying? If they red, leave them red. So, back to the inner child, right? So, when you sit here and the relationship is just going so well, and you're just like, he or she out here doing something because I don't do it right. Stop saying that. Maybe you put yourself in a position where you are. And when I say the inner child, it's like different types of trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like you could really be dealing with abandonment issues, you know? You could even be dealing with being in a position where it's really hard for you to trust others because you sit here and you hear the, hey, don't trip. I'm going to be here. Like, I got you for the rest of life and everything. You're just like, all right, cool. I finally found good people around me. And then, one of them days where you just sit here and you be like, wow, I don't have it together. And that's when I need to take the time out and, just focus on myself. And a lot of people don't understand that. I don't understand why. Like, why haven't I heard from you? What? Like, I'm trying to get myself in order. And that's the problem because it's like you're entitled to. And when people feel like it's not being reciprocated on both sides, that's the thing. People just get up and leave. But even when that does happen, you can't sit here and make it seem like that's your fault because that's another grown person as well. Whether it's a male or female, it doesn't matter. If we all grown and we're trying to achieve at life and we're trying to make this relationship work, at some point you're going to have to be an adult that I'm trying to do right now. You can't sit here and you get mad or whatever and your ultimate goal is, hey, I'm going to just leave for a minute and I'll be back and you never come back. What? Like, do you not know that I have abandonment issues? And it's like when you do things like that, that just makes me feel like me and my inner child sitting here on the couch chilling. And she looking at me like, girl, I told you. I'm just like, but no, I thought it was different. No, you got to stop because you got to understand that inner child, she or he already lived their point in life. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back. You can't make any changes. You can sit here and reflect on it though. And that's when the communication is key in your relationship because you got to talk about stuff like that. How are you sitting here getting mad at your partner, not even knowing that you weren't even open about it? So it's like, how are they supposed to know? Like, no one on this earth is a mind reader. I wish they were, but they're not. That's why if you're having issues with communicating, you need to take the time out. You could sit here and, you and your partner, space is needed because how are they supposed to miss you? So in that space, you sit here, you take a moment to yourself and you come to the understanding like why at times I go backwards when that's never the intention, but I just do. You can either sit here and figure it out by yourself or when your partner come back, y'all get back together, you just put it out there like, "Hey, I just want to have a conversation or like I want to talk to you." Certain things that you do, I don't know that you knew that, but it's like they're triggers for me because it brings back how life was for me at one point, and you can't sit here and make me feel like this is different and my childhood is like invalid because this is just great right now. And then in the spur of the moment, you go backwards and you make me feel like I'm a child again. That's a problem for me. Okay? Because it's like if I'm trying to grow to be the best person for this relationship, putting myself in a good place, you can't go backwards. Because if you go backwards, I'm gonna go backwards and it ain't gonna be nothing but problems. And that's another thing. Between you and your partner, you have to make sure that you cannot go backwards and speak about someone's past, especially if they're not doing that to you. That's messed up. That's like ungrateful. Of course, if it was a bad past, why would you even do that to anyone? You don't know what they were going through at that point in their lives to make bad decisions like that. And just for the simple fact that they trusted you enough to bring it to you to let you know how their past was, and then as soon as you get mad, you bring it up. That's not right. That's not fair. Because don't be mad if your partner sit here and be like, "Hey, you starting to make me feel some type of way. Do you really think I'm trying to spend the rest of my life with a person that treats me like the world? As soon as I mess up or as soon as you don't get what you want, you'll do anything in your power to hurt me." That doesn't make sense. As always, personal talk. I was really like in a place where I didn't know that I had selfish actions at times. I didn't know. Like, everybody want to sit here and be like, wow, don't mess with a woman that's spoiled and this and that. And I get it, haha, but not really. It's not so much of being spoiled. It's the simple fact of you growing up and you knowing what you deserve, and something in you is letting you know, like, hey, this ain't it. Like, you were not getting this. It's not a spoiled action. It's just like, I take care of myself. And if certain little things that I'm looking for and you can't give it to me, it makes me feel like, what is the purpose of this? That's a problem. Okay? It's a problem. Because you got to understand you're not by yourself anymore. So the way you used to do things alone, when you're in a relationship, you can't do that. It took me a good little minute to come to the realization, because at one point, yeah, I know I'm not going backwards, but when I was in Georgia, like, I did it by myself. And I put myself in a position to make me feel the way I felt. And when you get in a relationship, of course, 110%, it's gonna be different. It's no longer you taking care of you anymore. That is what your partner is for. Not saying like, hey, you got to do this and that, because as a woman, I get it. It's a stereotype out there. Like, all women want is, as the man, you take care of it all. I'm sorry, fellas. It's not all women out here. Some women out here really think about, you are just a bonus for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with you for your finances. I know men think about that all the time. No one is here to try and take your money, okay? I get money too. It is what it is. We can build the empire together, put our money together. And it took me a good little minute to realize that. I didn't even know I was struggling with that, because it's scary, whether for men or women. I'm sorry, I think it's the change of the weather. I'm not sick, but I think it's just, oh, I'm so sorry. But ultimately, you got to understand, when you're giving someone you, of course, don't let them sit here and treat you bad or treat you wrong. But it's multiple different love languages. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and be like, well, I love you like this. Why don't you love me the same? Everyone has a different love language. Just because you love the way you do, well, no, no, no. If you're in a relationship, you have to learn your partner's love language. You know what I'm saying? What you like, just like that other episode. What you like, your partner may not like that. You really have to pay attention to them to understand what makes them happy. What do they like? There has to be compromise in a relationship. And a lot of people don't like to sit here and want to put the work in, because the way society makes it seem, as a man, you're always supposed to make the woman feel good 24/7. You know what I'm saying? As a man, you were brought up not to show your emotions, not talk about it, just deal with it. No. No. The relationship is not going to be a good relationship if the man has to sit here and keep all of his feelings to himself, or have to venture out and call his boys or whatever, because he doesn't feel safe enough to sit here and talk to his woman. Because if ultimately that's the case, if he doesn't feel safe with you, being vulnerable with you, putting another side of him out there, what is the point? It makes no point. And me personally, I feel like when you're in a relationship with someone, whether you're a male or female, of course, we're supposed to have friends. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But your partner should ultimately be your best friend, though. I don't care about nothing else. I meant what I said. Your partner is your best friend. That is like your go-to. I get it in certain situations where you feel like, I don't know if I want to bring this to my partner. Maybe the fellas will understand, or maybe my girls will get it a little better than he can. Have that conversation like, hey, I'm kind of going through something right now. You know, we'll talk about it, but not right now. That's it. That's why I say communication. Because if it's good communication, when you speak like that, the other person won't feel no type of way. And when it comes down to that inner child, man, when it comes down, you have to understand that that life is over with. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't go backwards. We can't fix things that weren't right. It's sad. It really is. Because I'm sure all of us out here would like to go backwards and fix a very traumatic experience for us that we encountered in life. You know what I'm saying? Even though how messed up it is, I'm so sorry. But I feel like when we experience traumatic experiences, it's like, unfortunately, we had to go through that to become the person that we are today. You know what I'm saying? It's very messed up. Maybe we were put in a position in that moment to test like how strong we really are. Or in the midst like that, did we sit here and lean on God? You know what I'm saying? Ask for help. Hopefully that traumatic experience, it made you sit here and realize, look, however I was in that moment, whatever I did, I will never do that again. Or I will not be that person anymore. Like, it changed me for the better. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always say you have to, of course, as life, we all make mistakes. But what I'm saying is you have to make sure that you pick the right partner. Like, you come across the right person for you. Because with all of these traumatic experiences, you gotta understand a lot of people can't handle this. And you could really be in a relationship with someone that makes you feel like, what are you telling me for? Or like, what are you doing this to me for? I ain't do it to you. You need to figure it out. And it's like that makes you feel even worse than where you were. And it's like, yo, I'm sitting here trusting you enough to open myself to you fully. If you feel like it's something I'm not telling you, I'm trying to tell you what it is. At one point in life, I was broken, and trying to sit here and be happy all over again, it scares me because no one was really true to it. And you telling me I'm supposed to sit here and just trust you fully when at times you bring the inner child out of me? I'm sorry. The answer is yes. Because life is going to be life regardless. Whether you grow up, whether you change, it doesn't matter. If you want to be the same person you was 5 years ago, cool. If it suits you, that's cool. But I'm just telling you, if you're the same person without change, unfortunately, you're not going to go anywhere. A lot of us look at life like, yeah, I didn't get this. No, you didn't get it because you did not put that much work into it. You know what I'm saying? Life is about work. And another thing we fail to realize. Have you ever thought about it, right? So, you know how you be sitting here and you're just working hard on something, whether it's your relationship, whether it's anything that you're trying to do in life, and you're just like, yo, I don't get it. Why isn't this working out? Think about it like this. Sometimes it could be you're still surrounded around people that God tried to eliminate, but you wasn't having it. And you got to understand, everyone is not coming with you on your journey. You get it? Trying to bring negativity into a positive situation never ends well. Baby God is sitting here looking like, yo, I've been giving you all these signs. You need to leave this person or these people alone. You don't want to listen to it? Cool. Keep working at it. When you finally listen, that's when you get it. And I know it's so mean, but sometimes life be like that. That's why, in order to have this successful relationship, you have to come grips with your inner child. You can't bring those traumatic feelings from people out there that made you feel some type of way as a child and dump that on your partner. because ultimately your partner didn't do anything. The only thing they did do, they probably like triggered it. That's why you need to have a conversation. It will be a different scenario if you sit here and you talk about it and you bring it to life. Like, hey, these are traumatic experiences for me. Can you not do this? Because if so, we can go back in 2.5. No, I'm just playing. Don't go backwards. Do not let anyone or a situation make you bypass all that growth you did to go backwards to do a tit for tat. We are too grown to be doing tit for tat. If you put me in a position to do a tit for tat, we don't need to be together. That's a situation where you could call it a day. I shouldn't have to downgrade myself because you didn't put yourself in a position where you're able to grow in order for us to realize that's very childish. Do not let someone make you feel like you have to be a child to get on a level. Do not bring yourself down to meet someone eye level. Absolutely not. As a woman or a man, when you've done all this changing, no, don't go back because ultimately you're going to lose. You're going to lose. I don't care what nobody say. You are going to lose. Take the time out if you have the right partner, because you got to understand now, the life that we live now, it's really hard to come across good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard because someone always shows up with an agenda. And sometimes when people show up, they aren't who they said that they are. Because you sat here, you ran your mouth, you talked too much. They was like, oh, that's dope. You looking for so and so? Oh, I could transform and be that in 2.5. And then as soon as I get what I want, the real me is going to come out. So don't be mad at them. You need to shut up and stop telling people what you're looking for. Let the person unfold in front of you without you saying anything. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, y'all, take control of that inner child. You know what I'm saying? You can learn from it, but don't put it on your partner. As always, I really hope that this episode helps someone out there. You guys have the Instagram, OMGina underscore official 2024. Facebook is OMGina official. And YouTube, it is OMGina 2024. Alrighty, you guys, reach out. We could talk. Let's connect. I really hope this episode helps someone out there. I hope y'all have a great day.